Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Manmade, quality essentials for men. Boxer briefs, t-shirts, socks, and soap. Manmade, the official boxer brief of Nick and Roy.
Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy. How long do koalas, because they're really slow, how long do they eat for in a day? And how long do they sleep for in a day?
So let me get this straight. In order for a giraffe to have sex, she's got to pee?
This is season 7 of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
You know, Nick,
Yes.
I've seen a movie like that giraffe.
Animal, crazy animal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now
You want to see that movie? You go to nickandroy.com.
No, there's no movie there. The only reason why you should go, many reasons why you go to nickandroy.com. We'll tell you all about it. So you have eggs in the morning, right? Do you have white eggs or brown eggs? What color are your eggs in the morning? Do you remember?
You know, it depends how long they're in the fridge for.
No, well, I'll tell you what.
No.
It all depends on what color the chicken's earlobes are.
I am not going to lie to you, Nick. I have tried brown eggs. I have tried farm eggs. You know, I do the white regular eggs because I really didn't see, other than the yolks being very yellow, I didn't see the big difference in taste.
Well, the taste may not be any different, but it all depends on the color of the chicken's earlobes. Now, you're asking me, well, wait a minute, do chickens have earlobes?
Do chickens have earlobes, Nick?
Do chickens have ears? Yes, chickens do have ears, although they're hidden behind
What?
the feather. They're hidden behind the feathers on the side of their head, not in their head like yours. But when the feathers are pushed aside, the openings serve as ears, right? There's no outer ear, but the chickens have earlobes that you can clearly see. And here's the fact that chickens with white earlobes lay white eggs. Chickens with red earlobes lay brown eggs.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good fact.
Yeah.
See?
So there's two things there. One, that you know the color of the earlobe. First of all, the fact that they have earlobes, and then the color of the earlobe determines in what color eggs they will lay.
That is cool.
Yep.
I like that one. I think that people should that's one you write down and tell your friends.
Yes.
The true giant squid of folklore. I mean, you know, you read like Moby Dick and you see the giant squid and the whole bit, but they may have found one of these giant squid. They recently found a 50-foot long squid that weighed over 1 ton.
Oh.
Now, just to give you an idea of 50 feet long, if the average big pickup truck is 20 feet, that squid was almost 3 pickup trucks long. Now, just think, a pickup truck's pretty big. Think that squid is 3 times the size. It could engulf the pickup truck, pick it up, and throw it around.
And go for a drive if it wants to. And if you're if you're that big, let it do whatever it wants.
Yeah, and they say like sign here, and I said to the squid, "You got any ink?"
Yes. Now, how many eyes do you have? 2. I have 2 eyes. Most people have 2 eyes, but there are animals who have 3 eyes.
Let me tell you, Nick, living in New York all those years, I got eyes in the back of my head.
Well, this is almost the same thing. It's commonly called a parietal eye, which is only found in certain species of lizards, sharks, and bony fish.
Mm-hmm.
Salamanders and frogs. This eye doesn't see like an ordinary eye does, like we have, but it's photoreceptive. It detects changes in sunlight and can detect airborne predators by recognizing their shadows. And green iguanas, by the way, do have 3 eyes, well, sort of. But again, they have this sort of eyeball at the top of their head, but it's photoreceptive.
Yeah, the old pangolins. You ever seen a pangolin, Nick?
You mean a penguin?
I've thought of pangolins when we were talking about man-made brand underwear. That's where I hide my pangolin. No, pangolins are possum-like animals. Have you ever seen one?
No, I can't say that I have.
Okay, so I'll describe it for the folks. pangolins are like they're possum-like animals. So they look like a possum, but they have these scales which are like fingernail hard. They're actually harder than a fingernail, and they look like big scales on the entire outer shell of the animal. It is like a shell. But here's the cool part. They're so cool that they can mess with lions. Okay, lions can basically kill. They're the apex predator, but not when it comes to pangolins, because all they do is roll up in a ball, and the lions try and bite them, but they can't penetrate the scales. So the pangolins just mess with them and roll up in a ball, you know?
What was the end of that song of That's Life? All I want to do is roll up in the ball and die.
I'm gonna roll up. Was it that?
Yeah, roll up in a big ball and die. Okay, I know you've been
It's
waiting.
the old pangolin.
Yes, you've been waiting all along. Maybe you were hitting fast forward. You've gone too far. Go back now, 15 seconds. The weird sex life of a giraffe, and that almost sounded like one. The weird sex life of a giraffe. Like many even-toed hoofed animals, goats and antelopes, male giraffes need to analyze a female giraffe's pee to figure out if they're receptive to baby making.
Okay, so okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Keep
okay.
going.
So I need to explain this. Reaching the ground to sniff at puddles of urine isn't the easiest thing to do, right? Giraffes are really, really tall, like you're several meters tall.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So males must convince the females to urinate first and catch it in midstream. They have to nudge the female, effectively saying, please urinate now, and often she will. So he has her cooperation. If not, he'll know that there's no future with her to have kids. Now, just so that you know a little further, this is how it works. So you close your eyes and picture this. Can you do that? Can you close your eyes for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The towering male nuzzles or taps the rump of the slightly smaller female. In some cases, he might hang around while waiting nearby until she's in the mood. And some females that are already in heat will wait until a male is close enough to pee on them.
Oh, yeah, that's always a nice thing. You know? Yeah, that happens a lot, you know? God, anybody that listens to this show for a very long time knows that I've got a lot of things to say about this.
That's right. First of all,
things that I can't say.
That's right. Not
due
without
to FCC rules.
Yes, and lawyer retainer fees and everything else.
Oh my God.
And yes, in case you were wondering, her name was Goldie.
Wait a minute. Golden. Yeah, she's golden, all right. Listen, you know, so the giraffe, he sniffs the urine and then you're in, if you know what I mean.
But hold on. No, but they don't have their sexual acts is basically him catching her pee.
Well, of course. I mean, she's doing it for him.
Yeah.
It's a nice gesture, you know. She gives him the old.
Yeah. And you know what? Even if we said that if she doesn't do that for him, then he'll really be pissed.
Yeah, he'll be pissed off.
Yes.
Or pissed on. One or the other.
Pissed on is good. Pissed off, no good.
Yeah, when he walks up to his friends, he's like, boy, am I really pissed on? They're like, yeah.
You got some.
All right. My teaser. Koalas. These are some freaky animals. First off, you know how slow they are, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you look at a koala, you just want to hug the koala. They're probably nasty because they got claws and they got like this beakish, freaky face. But,
they do.
You know, they eat the eucalyptus leaves. They eat for 2 hours a day continuous. They eat for 2 hours. Now, I don't know how much they actually consume, but they eat eucalyptus leaves for 2 hours a day. Then they go back to sleep. And they wake up when it's time to eat again for 2 hours. So think about this. Their life consists of eating for 2 hours and sleeping for 22 hours. This is their life. So I'm thinking that's pretty cool. So I'm going to try it tomorrow. I'm going to wake up and have my wife feed me for 2 hours. And then I'm going to go back to sleep. Wake up the next day.
Yeah. Of course, when you sleep, you only sleep in your man-made boxer briefs.
Oh, yes.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Yes, you heard us talk about Man-Made brand. Man-Made they're made for man. How's that? It's a great name. Man-made
Oh,
is
yeah.
made for man. Check out our website, nickandroy.com, and find out what all the fuss is about. As you're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, it's that time again. It's time to talk about Man-made.
Yes. Man-made brand underwear. Guys, listen to us, please. Man-made sent us underwear to test for them. We had them on the show. We talked to them. They were nice. They sent us underwear. Nick and I flipped out to the point where they're now sponsors on our show. Honestly, we hounded them because their underwear is the greatest.
You know, the last time we hounded somebody for their underwear, there was a lawyer involved. Not this time. All you have to do is go to nickandroy.com.
She wasn't very nice about it, Nick, but these are men's underwear.
Okay,
Nick.
but you said, guys, listen up. I want the ladies to listen up as well, because I was reading some of their comments on their website and also on their TikTok and their LinkedIn. There are a lot of females, a lot of ladies out there who are buying these boxer briefs for their significant others. So
Nick, my wife just bought me 3 more pair.
See, you have a loving wife. I have 3 pairs as well. I have a loving wife. All you have to do is go to nickandroy.com, click on the Man-Made logo right there, and we'll give you an opportunity to win your very own pair. Send us an email, contest@nickandroy.com, and you tell us why you deserve a pair of the most comfortable boxer briefs you've ever worn in your life.
And if you try these, you are going to wear them. I'm telling you, you will get rid of everything in your underwear drawer and fill it with Man-Made brand.
How do you get your pair? You go to nickandroy.com, click on the Man-Made logo. But we're running a contest. Go to contest@nickandroy.com and email us and tell us why you deserve a pair of the most comfortable boxer briefs. It's the last boxer brief you're going to buy. Contest@nickandroy.com. Send us the email, and Man-Made will send you your very own pair. nickandroy.com.
Yeah, and while you're on our website, you can click on Man-Made and see they sell also T-shirts, which you again, it's the fabric. It's fantastic. And then they sell soap, which smells awesome. It's a real manly smell, guys.
Yeah.
And they also sell socks, which have this. The socks have this thing on them where they kind of get you in the center of your foot. It just, again, their product is so well done. Man-Made brands, bravo, awesome product.
nickandroy.com.
Today's history. What happens tomorrow is history. Yeah.
The first president with wood and teeth. They used to say that George Washington...
President with wood.
Wooden teeth. No, let me finish the sentence. The first president with wood and teeth. They used to say that George Washington, that's my dentures are slipping. Washington dentures, I meant to say, were made of wood. That's what they used to say. But it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
His first tooth, by the way, was pulled in 1756 when he was 24. In 1781, Washington was wearing partial dentures, and by 1789, he only had 1 tooth left in his mouth. And by the way, he put that tooth under his pillow to find out if the tooth fairy will leave him something. You know what she left him?
What?
Not $1, because he wasn't on the dollar bill yet till 1869.
Yeah.
That year, by the way, he started wearing false sets of dentures made from ivory and human teeth. The human teeth were allegedly from slaves and desperately poor people.
Oh, so they took their teeth.
That is correct.
Did they wait till they died, or they were alive when they took their teeth? Sounds like they were alive.
Doesn't say, but George Washington, yeah, he had some teeth that belonged to other people.
Alexander the Great was 32 when he died.
Great.
He's a young man when he died, but he had created by that time the largest empire that the world had ever seen. In 323 BC, Alexander fell ill. After 12 days, he died. He was laid out for 6 days, which was customary for like an emperor.
Mm-hmm.
But during that period of 6 days where they would be laid out, these bodies would start to decompose and rot. And people would come to see them and they would stink and so on. But not Alexander. For 6 days, his body stayed perfect. They were like, this guy's unbelievable, you know? except for one thing.
Hmm.
They believed that he was suffering from a disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome. And he actually wasn't dead. He was quite alive. He was just in like a comatose type state. And they probably buried poor Alexander alive at the age of 32. He probably was just in a coma. He couldn't say it. He couldn't do anything. That's why he wasn't rotting.
And the first thing he said was, "This is just great." In Rome, the Circus Maximum is still the largest capacity sports arena ever built. It was used for execution of prisoners, part of the Roman triumph, and chariot racing. And historians believe that the circus...
None of which I've ever seen at the circus.
No, not at all. It was a 3-ring circus of Roman triumph, execution of prisoners, and chariot racing.
Yeah, it's like, what? No peanuts for the execution?
No, exactly. Yeah, might as well save their teeth for George Washington. Historians believe that the Circus Maximum could hold between, get this, you ready? Between 150,000 and 250,000 people at any given time.
Oh, 250,000 is huge.
It is. Now you're big on college football off the top of your head, and I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Off the top of my head, the Swamp at the University of Florida holds close to 100,000 people. Most of these college stadiums can hold 100, 110,000. They're huge, huge.
Right.
That 250,000 would be insanely big.
It's like two of those Swamp stadiums.
It's crazy, yes. Ready? Julius Caesar proclaimed himself the supreme ruler for life.
Oh.
He wanted to avoid those, pesky elections.
Oh, yeah.
So he didn't want to bother with the elections. So Julius Caesar, he goes to the Senate and he has this whole discussion about why he's the supreme ruler and there's no more elections and they got to deal with it. The senators are so pissed. They're so upset that they're more pissed than a giraffe in heat. And so so they follow him after his long, drawn-out speech. They follow him into an alleyway, and they stab him. But now this is what they believe actually happened. He was stabbed 23 times.
Oh.
And they believe that each stab was a single stab from a single senator. So they believe 23 senators followed him down the corridor. And the last stab was Brutus. Et tu, Brute?
Yeah. Do you know what I got out all of that is the election results are in, and it was unanimous. They all killed him.
He said, Brutus, I got this stabbing pain on my side.
Exactly. Go to Dr. Madden, Naples, Florida. The Great Fire of 1666. It caused massive damage across the city of London. Of course, the fire was traced back to a baker's oven, apparently. It destroyed over 13,500 houses and displaced over 80,000 residents. But remarkably, only 6 people died in the Great Fire of 1666.
Wow.
Yeah.
But a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, like we said, more than 13,000 houses and over 80,000 people.
Had they had a whole bunch of female giraffes, they could have put it out.
That's right. They didn't have any giraffes. Wow. Really talking about feeling the heat.
Yep. Ready, aim, fire. Okay, so.
Yes.
Now, you've been to Italy, Nick.
Oh, several times, yes.
When you look at some of the houses there, they're modest type houses, but a lot of them have these beautiful marble style entryways. And, when I was in Sicily, I even saw that where they had these beautiful marble. These were modest, poor people. And you say to yourself, where did they get the money to do that? Well, here's where it happened. The Romans, when Rome fell to the Goths, the Colosseum and other sites were completely clad in marble. Layer after layer of beautiful marble was used to cover places like you said, the Circus Maximus, right? How big was that damn place. It was probably covered in marble.
Sure.
Well, the people started ripping the marble off these buildings because Rome had fallen and it wasn't illegal to do that. And they brought that beautiful marble to their own homes and then utilized it over again.
Then make it the good construction.
Yeah, talk about getting what you should from your government.
Yes. So what happened? Rome fell and they couldn't get up? Is that what happened?
Yeah, well, they said, those taxes, they weren't written in stone.
Yes, they were. You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Thank you very much for joining us week after week. Over 67 countries around the world are listening to us. We thank you for that. We're on the iHeartRadio Talk Network all across Canada, coast to coast to coast. We thank you for all of your support there as well. You go to our website, nickandroy.com. You go to the Nick and Roy store. We'll tell you all about that in a little bit. Also go to nickandroy.com to find out all about our brand new sponsor, which we just told you about, Manmade brand.
Oh, yeah. They're fantastic. And there's a giveaway. Folks, you go to our website and you can enter in, send us an email and enter in to the contest to win Man-Made underwear, the best underwear in the world for men.
All you have to do is send us an email as to why you deserve a pair of Man-Made boxer briefs. Contest at nickandroy.com. We'll also answer your question from our mailbag and in the news, because that's everyone's favorite. All the people that I ask what their favorite, one of their favorite segments is the science, because I love the jingle. And also in the news, this man wanted to hire somebody that wasn't stupid.
Your weekly sweet and savory facts of totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Come and get it!
You go to Burger King or Wendy's or McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we're not supported by any of these cow-killing maniacs. No, I'm joking.
They have chicken.
Yeah, but now you eat these burgers,
Mm-hmm.
but then what I'm going to say to you is really going to affect you.
Uh-oh.
The average burger that you eat contains meat from more than 100 different cows.
Oh. So you go to a fast food place and you order a burger, and then you tell them, I heard a totally useless information with Nick and Roy. There are over 100 cows. It took them 100 cows for you to make that burger. I want you to name every single one of them and see what happens. Mm-hmm.
Was Donner and Donner.
No, that's reindeer meat.
I'm sorry.
This next fact is courtesy of one of my colleagues at News Talk 1010 in the aforementioned iHeartRadio Talk Network. Joe is a colleague of mine, and he said, hey, did you know that there are various names associated with the size of wine bottles? And I didn't know, so I looked it up, and sure enough, there's a list of the size of the wine bottle has its own name. For example, at 187.5 milliliters, it's called a split, which is usually like a single serving of champagne.
Yeah, that's a little one of champagne, yeah.
750 milliliters is a standard. It's a common bottle size for most wine. 1.5 liters is a magnum, which is equivalent to 750 milliliter bottles, right? Simple math. 3 liters is called a double magnum. 6 liters of wine is called a Methuselah.
Oh.
It's equivalent to 8 standard 750 milliliter bottles of wine. 9 liters is called a Salmanazar. Okay, it's equivalent to 12 bottles of wine on the wall. Finally, if you have a 15-liter bottle of wine, what do you think that's called?
I don't know.
A drinking problem. No, it's
wow,
called
15 liters?
a Nebuchadnezzar is what it's called, and it's equivalent to 20 standard 750 milliliter bottles.
I would have thought the 15 liters was for the giraffe urine.
Yes, you have a drinking problem.
It's called a pisser.
Yes. You don't buy it, you rent it.
Wow, I had no idea there were that many different types of wine bottles.
Listen,
and I thought
laugh.
I knew something. I thought I knew something about wine.
That's right.
I listen to you every week, Nick. It sounds like whining.
Listen, laugh, and what? Learn.
Fruit snacks for kids. I
Yes.
mean, what could be better? It says it right there. Fruit snacks,
Yes,
right?
healthy.
You're so happy. Here, kids, here's a little plastic bag full of fruit snacks.
Yeah,
That's been
healthy.
sitting in the closet for 6 months and they're still supposedly good.
Yeah, they're healthy for you. Huh? They're healthy.
Yeah, we're pretty stupid people, Nick. It says 100% fruit, no corn syrup. It says all that wonderful stuff. Well, guess what? It really is.
Okay.
And then you take a look at these pretty little things. They're shaped like fruit, too. Some are shaped like grapes. Some are shaped like cherries. And they're so pretty and shiny. You know why?
Why?
Because fruit snacks are polished. They're polished with something called carnauba. We use that same carnauba on our cars.
Yeah,
it's car wax.
No. Really?
Yes. The same stuff they use to buff floors and cars, carnauba wax, is also used to shine those wonderful little shiny fruit snacks that we give our kids.
You know what? I always wondered why kids look so shiny these days.
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking? Because I'm always thinking, Nick, right?
Yes.
I was thinking to myself, you line up about 10 giraffes, you feed them all these fruit snacks, and then you drive your car underneath it. It's like a car wash. Right. Nice carnauba wax shine.
It is. Absolutely. Wow.
I'm sick in the head.
Oh, that's not all you're sick. How about now? We make sandwiches. We make like a ham and cheese sandwich. We make a grilled cheese sandwich. How about a fruit sandwich?
Ooh.
These sandwiches are made by putting fresh fruit, like real fresh fruit, not the carnauba wax ones. You put fresh fruit with whipped cream in between 2 slices of bread. It is thought that a fruit sandwich originated in a cafe in Kyoto. It's the longest running fruit snack in Japan, though there are other theories as well, like fruit sandwiches are currently a hit among young people in Japan.
In Japan? Huh?
Yes, a fruit sandwich.
Walt Gerber and Fritz Stelter in 1911 invented something in Switzerland. They invented a substance called processed cheese or cheese product. We affectionately call it American cheese.
Or the yellow one?
Yes. American cheese that we have in the little plastic wrappers is not American at all. Walt Gerber and Fritz Stelter, they invented it in 1911, and we call it American cheese. They couldn't call it like Swiss cheese because Swiss cheese was already invented, so they couldn't call it Swiss cheese. And they couldn't, like the French, they couldn't, I guess we stole it like the French do with French toast and things like, and French fries, which are not, really French.
Okay, now up here, I live in Canada. I'm in Toronto, Canada. Roy is in Fort Myers, Florida. Now, up here in Canada, we don't have American cheese. We just call it cheddar cheese.
No, but American cheese is not cheddar cheese at all. Cheddar cheese is cheddar cheese, but American cheese is a processed cheese.
Right. So they might have invented it, but it was James Lewis Kraft.
Yeah.
A Canadian-American entrepreneur and inventor. And he was the first to patent processed cheese. So your two guys might have created it, but he actually had the patent to put it in those little plastic slices. We just call them cheese slices up here. We don't call it American cheese.
He was a pretty crafty guy, wasn't he?
That's right. He sure was.
Wait a minute, what nationality? I hope he wasn't French.
No. No, he wasn't. Not anymore. Okay, you're a chef, right? You've worked in kitchens, you've owned restaurants, and you use olive oil in all sorts of applications, right?
Allegedly, Nick. Allegedly.
Right. Okay. What? Allegedly you used olive oil, or allegedly you were a chef? So how about this?
I killed that whole group of people with that bad stew. I've been.
That's right.
Allegedly.
That's right. And they stewed for hours. So, how about this? How about olive oil infused coffee? Starbucks.
Wow, that's weird.
Starbucks mixes olive oil with coffee. The chain is rolling out a new line of olive oil infused coffee drinks called Oleato in Italy, and they will bring them eventually to Southern California. So the CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, I think he's French, isn't he? He also
Schultz. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
How would you pronounce his name?
No, it's Schultz. I see
Schultz.
nothing. I see nothing.
So he conceived of the idea while watching the locals in Sicily drinking olive oil. He started to drink olive oil alongside his coffee, and like a 13-year-old in front of a soda fountain, decided why not combine them together. So olive oil coffee may sound like a gimmick, but Schultz called it a transformational moment for the company. And this seems to be a common practice. Now, I'll tell you that my late father-in-law, who's from northern part of Italy, Veneto, used to drink a few tablespoons of olive oil from time to time, and he said it was really good for your digestive system. It relieved, when you just, you need some help in the constipation area. The olive oil helps your digestive system. Italians called it green gold, oro verde.
Wow. Yep. Yep. And giraffes call it yellow gold. Oh my God. Back to the giraffes.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Don't the giraffes wish they could wear those boxer briefs?
Oh, you know what? They're so tall, they'd be really comfortable. By the way, as an aside, they have many, many sizes. You think, these are like, models that model these. So, okay, I know we talked about them earlier in the show, but I have to add this as part of the reason why you should go to nickandroy.com and click on Manmade logo. Here's why. So, when the four guys got together and they wanted models to model these underwear, the agency sent a whole bunch of really nice looking and fit models. And they decided, no, this is not who our market is. These are not the guys. So they put ordinary guys in these boxer briefs, which tells me they have nothing smaller than a medium.
And a disclaimer, this is one of the reasons why they did not choose me. They saw my picture and they said, nope, he's absolutely too good looking and well endowed. We can't use you, Roy. Sorry. And I was not offended in any way.
And yet
they took Nick. They took Nick right away.
Well, they called me 3 times. So go to Nick and Roy, go to nickandroy.com, and you click on Contact Us to send us an email.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
We're out of our minds, I'll tell you, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Frank from Akron, Ohio, home of the inventions of the ice cream cone and hamburgers and caramel corn snacks. He writes to us and says, Dear Nick and Roy, we love listening to your show every week. You guys are amazing together. We get a hoot out of you. Okay, thank you. Here's my question. Is there a difference between lava and magma? We will listen intently to your response. By the way, we love your newsletter. Well, thank you very much. For that, he probably, what he did? He probably ordered one of those birthday messages, and you get a free 1-year subscription of the Totally Useless VIP newsletter. So thanks very much there, Frank. By the way, magma is a lot more than lava. Lava is the name of the molten rock that has erupted from the Earth's surface. We see this in the red-hot materials spilling from volcanoes when they erupt, right? So lava is the name of the resulting solid rock. Magma, however, is unseen. Any rock underground that is fully or partially melted qualifies as magma. So that's the difference. Thank you, Frank, and thank you for ordering a birthday message. So you can do the same. Go to nickandroy.com and go to the Nick and Roy store, order a birthday message or anniversary message, and you and the recipient of those messages will receive a 12-month subscription to the Totally Useless VIP newsletter.
Yeah, the birthday messages, guys, best gift that you could buy somebody is a birthday message. Everybody always goes, they're so hard to buy for. They have everything. The birthday message these people will flip out. Just go to nickandroy.com, tap on birthday message. Okay, Holly from Toulouse, France.
Oh,
France.
Oh,
she's the last French listener that I have, I guess, not upset. She says, why is Roy always making fun of France? And she didn't write French. She said, why is Roy always making fun of French?
Of French.
So
yeah.
of the French.
The French, yeah.
Yeah, I love your show, but I also love France. Okay. Yeah. Why must I be torn to choose? Why must I be torn to choose? Well, okay, Holly. We don't want you to have to defect from France. I guess you'd have to defect to get out of there. We don't want you to have to do that. I have to say, I love French toast. I'm sorry, that's Belgium.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No. Belgium is
love
fries.
French
Hold on.
fries.
Wait a minute. Belgium are fries. French toast
Yeah.
wasn't French. It was from the Roman times.
Whatever. It's not theirs. It's
Right.
not theirs.
Right.
The French fry. I love French fries. They're from Belgium, right?
Right. Okay.
So okay, let's think. Okay, Holly. I love Toulouse-Lautrec, who's I guess from your town's sake. Toulouse-Lautrec. Those of you that don't know, do you know who Toulouse-Lautrec is, Nick?
No.
He was a poster painter. He painted posters for the Moulin Rouge in France, which was nothing more than like sexy dances, like burlesque style type thing, the Moulin Rouge. And his posters became famous artwork because Toulouse-Lautrec was so avant-garde and new. He's one of my favorite painters. So, Holly, thank you from Toulouse, France, for giving us Toulouse-Lautrec. And please keep listening in. Vive la France!
Yeah, Roy and I have been
Never
French.
thought I'd say that, did you, Nick?
No, not at all, because Roy and I, in all the years, Roy and I have been French for years.
Yeah, well, Holly enclosed a picture, so... No,
Okay.
she did not. She
Take-
did not.
Look, is that a giraffe? Is that a giraffe? You know what? Is that a giraffe? Are you happy to see me? Today on the show, we talked about animals, we talked about history, we talked about food. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
He put a sign out on his business, his pizzeria, help wanted, but he wasn't really desperate. How about this? A restaurant burned by unreliable workers was bluntly advertising what he was looking for. He put up a poster that said, now hiring non-stupid people.
Uh-huh. He got right to the point.
Yes, Santino's Pizzeria hung the all...
How do you do, Nick? Any applicants?
You'll find out. Santino's Pizzeria was well hung. He hung the all-caps banner outside his Columbus, Ohio storefront a few months ago in jest. But now it's raising a whole bunch of eyebrows after a customer posted a photo of it on social media. Isn't that always the way? Jaden Dunnigan, whose family owns the restaurant, said the sign was meant to be a joke, explaining the headache of spending the time and money to train new employees only to have them not show up for work. A lot of people we've hired just don't want to work. There's no work ethic behind them, and there's the meaning behind non-stupid. But some didn't think that was funny. If that's the first impression you choose to make as a business owner, don't complain when your employees leave. Another showed support for his business, said honest hiring practices are always the best. Now you've owned some restaurants in your day.
Yeah. Nick, I disagree in a way because he put up now hiring non-stupid people.
Right.
And those people that read that got offended, which means that they were smart enough to read it, but too stupid to understand it was funny. So he should now put up a poster that says, now hiring people with a sense of humor, and maybe he'll get better people.
That's right. So this is what happened. He kept getting all kinds of prank calls. In fact, somebody called in a fake pizza order for $100. It was about 10 pizzas. He made the order. He called them back, and then they said no. So instead of letting the food go to waste, Dunnigan, who's a fine businessman, donated it.
To stupid people.
No. People who needed it. He says, since we don't enjoy wasting food here, we always think that someone else in need can enjoy the food. See, he is a great person to work for. Don't you think he gives back to his community?
He's a humanitarian.
Exactly. Another manager of the another manager at the restaurant said, instead of judging our signs, why don't you come and judge our pizzas? Our pizzas are really good.
Yeah, well, they're only $10 too. That's pretty cheap.
It is. So if you're in the Akron, Ohio area,
I don't see Ohio being the place to go for pizza. I don't think pizza when I think of Akron, Ohio.
But if you do, you go to Santino's Pizzeria. That is the name of the place. Go support them.
Don't you think pizza? You think kind of New York. Although I've had some pretty decent pizza in Canada. It's pretty good. There's so many Italians up there. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's good pizza.
Yeah, it is good
And
stuff.
I've had some good pizza, believe it or not, now in Florida because there's so many people from up north moving down here. We have good pizza places now.
We'll have to check it out. But you know, we have to check out next week. We have to check out this week because that's all the time that we have for this week's episode of Totally Useless Information.
Folks, I'm sitting here in my man-made underwear,
You
feeling good.
Yeah,
good.
he's feeling
The
something.
boys are feeling good. The boys are back in town.
Yeah, no more Funky Town for Roy's boys. Thank you for listening. We'll scour the internet and other sources to gather more totally useless information for you next time.
So, until next week, tell everyone you know about the show. Go to nickandroy.com, click on our store, take a look at those birthday messages. They're a phenomenal gift. We have the newsletter, and of course, you can click on Man-Made.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy has been brought to you in part by Man-Made, quality essentials for men. Boxer briefs, t-shirts, socks, and soap. Man-Made, the official boxer brief of Nick and Roy.